welcome to Turn the Page, the official podcast of the Syosset Public Library.
Hi, this is Evelyn Hershkowitz, Reader Services Librarian at Turn the Page podcast, and I'm here today with Stephanie DeCarolis. Stephanie is the U.S. Today bestselling author of The Guilty Husband, Deadly Little Lies, and The Perfect Sister. She's a graduate of Binghamton University and St. John's University School of Law and currently lives in New York with her husband and their two daughters. Thank you, Stephanie, so much for joining me again, because you and I spoke last year when you wrote The Perfect Sister.
We did, and thank you so much for having me back.
You're so welcome. I don't know how you do all these twisty, turny, suspenseful, I don't know. Do you consider them thrillers, mysteries? What do you consider it?
Most of my books, actually, all of them were thrillers until this one. The Wives of Hawthorne Lane is domestic suspense.
Okay.
Well, similar but a little bit different. So it was fun for me to write, and yeah, a lot of plotting goes into all those twists and turns.
Okay. Do you want to tell everybody what the book's about? Because I don't want to give anything away. So you do it.
Sure, it's about this sort of fancy upper class neighborhood. It's a beautiful, idyllic cul-de-sac where it's really the envy of the town. And every year the residents on Hawthorne Lane throw a fall festival, but this year someone won't survive the night. So then the book jumps back 3 months before the fall festival, which takes place on Halloween. And we're following the stories of 4 women and their families who live on this block to piece together who dies at the fall festival and who killed one of their neighbors.
Okay. Yes, it was very twisty. Also, there's a lot of domestic things going on. I don't
Yeah.
know if I want to give anything away. You tell me if you think that there's something
Yeah,
that
I
we
mean,
can
there's
talk
a lot
about.
going on in this book. There's secrets and lies and betrayal and of course murder.
Yeah.
But it does deal with some heavier subject matter, which includes domestic violence. And that's sort of where the basis or the inspiration for this book came from. Early in my legal career, I worked as an advocate for victims of domestic abuse. And I learned so much in that role about the realities of domestic violence. And I know it can be a really difficult topic to talk about or to read about, even if in a fictional setting, but I thought that it was a really important one to start a discussion around. So that's
Okay.
really what I hope I did here with this book. I hope that it leaves readers asking questions and thinking a little bit more about a difficult subject.
Right. Is this based on an area that you know or people that you know?
No, completely fictional. So all the characters are fictional and all of their stories are completely fictional. They're not based on real people at all
Okay, good. I'm glad to
in
hear
most of
that.
their cases.
Okay, good. But you are located here on Long Island, right?
I am. I'm in Oceanside.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I know I've seen. Do you have something coming up at the Oceanside Library this year?
I do, yeah.
Oh,
September
great.
27th, I'll be doing a book talk at the Oceanside Library.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really
Yeah.
wonderful. It's
Yeah,
great when you
the
have
library
local
system
authors.
here on Long Island has just been like so welcoming and so supportive. It's been great.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're very lucky. I mean, there are libraries in every single town.
Yeah, it's
So,
amazing.
yeah, I mean, other places you go, it's like miles and miles between libraries. Here, they're like every few miles there's a library. I mean, Long Island is a
Not
great
only
place.
do we have them, but I feel like they're so well attended. People really
Hmm.
use the libraries, and I love to see that.
Yeah, no, it's libraries here are absolutely wonderful. They really are. So, like you said, you planned this book. You had to. You couldn't just do this by
Oh,
the
for
seat of your
sure. I
pants.
know there are plenty of writers that they call themselves pantsters
Right.
in the writing world, and they can just write and see what happens. That is not me. I do not have the personality for that. I am far too type A. My outlines are not only numbered, but they are color coded and detailed. It's so many pages by the time that I'm actually ready to sit down and write these books. But it helps me to keep all of the storylines in place because this book, like The Perfect Sister, is told from multiple perspectives.
A
And so
lot
keep
of, at
everybody's
least
character.
four,
Yeah, yeah,
4 or 5. Yeah,
there are five,
right.
and yeah, there are 5 women on the block and one who is not on the block. But yeah, keeping everybody's storylines in order and all the twists and turns and all the breadcrumbs that you have to leave before the reveals. I give credit to every author and the ones who can do this without planning. It's amazing to me, but that is not me. There's so much planning that goes into this.
So you knew the ending before you started writing.
Yes, the ending really was what drew me to this story. So I knew the ending from the beginning. And I actually included this in the acknowledgments about how many false starts this book had for me. I actually started writing this book before I wrote The Perfect Sister,
Oh,
and I just couldn't get it quite right. There was a piece missing, and I knew I loved the idea, and I knew I loved the ending and the concept and the characters, but I just couldn't get it to come together quite right. So I put it aside for a little while, and I thought, I'll start working on something else, and we'll see. Maybe I'll go back to it. And what I ended up working on became The Perfect Sister. But after that book was written, I knew I wanted to come back to this. I really felt drawn to it. And I went back to the drawing board, and it was like a light bulb turned on, and I kind of saw the pathway through how to get from beginning to middle to end and have it end and wrap up in the way that I had envisioned it. And I'm really thrilled about how it came together. But yes, this was a long project for me.
okay. So besides Oceanside, are you going on a book tour at all for this?
Yeah, so I'm doing a book release like launch party at NCME Winery in Oceanside, which I'm so thrilled about.
That
If
is
you've never
so
been to
cool.
NCME, you
I didn't know that
absolutely
I
should.
didn't know there was a winery in Oceanside.
Yeah, it's relatively new. It's actually only a few blocks from my house, so I've walked over there a few times. It's beautiful inside, and the owners are just the nicest people ever. And they're sponsoring this launch event, which will be on
Okay. That's
September 19th.
when
So
the
if
book
anyone would
comes
like
out.
to,
That's the
yes,
date the
yeah,
book
the book
comes
comes
out,
out the
right? September
16th.
19th. Oh no, it comes out on the 16th.
Yeah, and we're doing the launch party that Friday on the 19th at NCME in Oceanside from 7 to 9 if anyone wants to come and have a
Okay.
glass of wine.
Sure. What's the name of it again? Give it a plug.
NCME.
NCME?
Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
they're just the kindest, most wonderful people, and the wine is delicious, so I'm really thrilled about that.
They don't
And
have
then
a vineyard in Oceanside though.
they don't, but they actually make the wine on premises. They import the grapes.
Oh,
I
wow.
believe so. I hope that I'm saying the right thing, but I think that they do. And yeah, it's amazing.
What street? What block is it on? What street is it on? Do you know?
I believe it's West Waukena and
Okay.
Lawson on that corner.
Very nice. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So I'll be there on September 19th, and then on September 27th, I'll be at Oceanside Library. And I'm working on setting up an event with Franklin Square Library in November, most likely November 22nd.
Very nice. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, libraries have been great. How about Theodore's Bookshop? Have you gotten in touch with them? Because they like their local authors too.
They do. So Theodore's is actually working with us on the event at NCME. They're going to be the bookseller there. So they'll
Terrific.
be coming in with
Oh,
books to
that's
sell and have me sign. So I'm really
so
looking forward to it.
wonderful. Okay, good. Did you do that for Perfect Sister? Did you have a launch party for that one too?
I did. We were at Beginnings in Atlantic Beach, and Theodore's was also the bookseller for that one. So they've been a really wonderful, supportive partner to work with too through this
Oh,
process.
that's so wonderful. So I know you were a lawyer before. I find so many authors were lawyers. That was their first career. And then they
Yes,
go into writing. Any idea
the
why? Like,
big
why are so many?
crossover. For me, the legal career is a lot of writing. There's a lot of motions, a lot of memos and research and writing. And I think that kind of was, I mean, for me, it was my favorite part of the legal profession. I enjoyed the writing process, but I also think that working in the legal profession makes you kind of a detail-oriented person,
Mhm.
and it gives you the dedication to sit down and work on a book for a year. Some of these cases take years and years that you're working on the same case, and it's kind of the same with the book. You really have to be able to commit to it and give it your all. So I don't know, there's a lot of crossover between the skills that you have to work in the legal profession and also in the writing profession, but I don't really know what it is that makes people leave the law and come over to writing. But for me, I'm glad I made the jump. I love this. I'm so grateful that I get to do this every day.
So you're a full-time author, no more legal profession.
I do some freelance legal work, but
Huh? Oh,
it's
okay.
not a full-time job for me anymore.
Okay, that's good. Good for you. Keep your hand in it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that balance of, staying a little bit into the legal field, but not going into a law firm every single day. I work from home. I have small kids, so it's really nice that I get to do the work that I love, writing most of my day, and I still get to do school pickups and go to class parties. It's
Mhm.
been it's been a really great balance that this lifestyle has afforded me.
Did you always want to be an author, even when you became a lawyer?
I did. Actually, I've been thinking about this a lot because it's a question that I get asked a lot. When did
Mm.
I first have this idea? And I think I can kind of trace it back to when I was in fifth grade, and my teacher told me, "Oh, I love your writing. You could be an author someday." And I remember that sticking in my head and being like, "That would be the coolest job ever." But it just wasn't something that I'd made time in my life for while I was building my legal career and my family. And then after my youngest daughter was born, she's 6 now, but after she was born, I was taking some time away from working with a law firm. And I thought, this is something I've always wanted to do. If I don't try it now, I'm always going to regret it. Let's see what happens. And
Mhm.
that manuscript that I worked on while I had a newborn on my shoulder ended up becoming The Guilty Husband, which was my USA Today bestseller and launched this into a career for me. So it's
Wow.
been a very unexpected but amazing ride.
Yeah. What was it like to get yourself published? Did you have trouble getting published or was it an easy?
I won't say it was easy. There's always a lot of rejection that goes into this. So I didn't really know what I was doing. So I wrote
Okay.
The Husband kind of just for myself because it was something that I always wanted to try. And then I shared it with some family members and close friends, and everyone was like, "Oh, you should publish this." And I was like, "That sounds great, but I don't know how to do that." So I started researching agents and publishers that take on agented submissions and who was having open submissions. And it was a world I didn't really fully understand before I jumped into it, to be fully honest. But I put my manuscript out to a couple of agents. I got a couple of no's. I got a couple partial requests. And then I submitted it to HQ Stories, which is an imprint of HarperCollins that was taking open submissions. They were taking unagented manuscripts. And I thought, why not? And
Mhm.
I ended up getting an offer from them, which
Wow.
was, yeah, really shocking news for me, but I was over the moon. So, I feel that I got very lucky in a lot of ways because I know how many manuscripts are out there and how many of them are amazing and just never get the right eyes on them. So I think you have to find it. There's a lot of luck that goes into having the right book at the right time for the right agent or the right editor and them finding it in the slush pile and actually calling you. And yeah, there's a lot of luck that goes into it for sure. So it wasn't easy, but I do feel that I got very lucky having my start in this field.
Yeah, and there's a lot of authors I've spoken to that they have their first and second manuscripts in the drawer, like it's never going to get out there. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for
that's
sure.
great.
So
That's
I
great.
know I was very fortunate that my first manuscript got picked up. And then after that, I started working with my current agent, who I love and has been such a great advocate in helping me navigate this publishing world that really was a lot overwhelming at first for
Yeah.
me jumping
And
into it.
and now I see you with Ballantine Books, which is part of Random House.
Yeah, so I'm with Bantam there. It's part of Ballantine, Bantam and Dell,
Okay.
and they're an imprint of Random House. Bantam specifically does mystery, thriller, and suspense titles.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're good to work with.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. They've been very supportive and yeah, they've been really enthusiastic about my books and it's been a really fun experience.
Good for you. That's wonderful. I'm really happy to hear that.
Thank
Are you
you.
working on anything now?
I am. I'm working on what I hope will be my fifth book soon. Um, Final touches are going on to that, so it's another thriller, but that's kind of all I can say at this point. I'm not really sure
Okay. Did you have a
when it's out
contract?
or anything like that. I'm
Do
sorry.
you have a contract with Bantam that you have to put out a certain amount of books or?
So my contract with Bantam was for The Perfect Sister and The Wives of Hawthorne Lane. So that's kind of why I don't know the layout for the fifth book yet.
Okay.
We're still kind of in talks about where we're going next.
Okay. That's great. I wish you a lot of luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay. So anything else you want to tell us about the book to get people's curiosity up and wanting to read it?
Um, yeah, let's see. Oh, I told you guys it's told from multiple perspectives, which I really enjoy writing and I really enjoy reading. And I think it works really well with this book because I was able to take a really deep dive into these women's lives.
Hmm.
And while they look really similar on the outside, they're all struggling with different things that I think will be relatable to readers. I mean, hopefully not all of it, considering, we know someone
Right.
dies.
We don't want any of the domestic abuse. We don't want
No, but
anybody to have to deal with that.
I think their kind of internal lives can be relatable to you or to someone you know. And so that's really where what I was trying to do with this book. I hope that it really resonates with readers.
Yeah. I hope so too. I wish you all the best with this. It's really good. And it's nice to have Long Island authors that we get to
Yeah,
speak to. Did you
for
grow up in
sure.
Oceanside?
I did. Yeah, my husband and I actually both grew up in Oceanside, and then we moved for a while. And when we got married and we're looking to have kids, we moved back here where our family still lives. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
nice to have most of our family's still here.
That's so nice. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's really, really wonderful. But don't go to the beach today, anybody. It's it's Hurricane Erin and the waves are really bad. Even though, I mean, it's beautiful living on Long Island. It really is, the beaches and everything that we have here. So we're
Yeah,
very, very lucky. Very
yeah.
lucky.
Maybe today's not the day to
Right.
enjoy
Yeah. No,
beautiful beach.
today's not the day that Long Island looks as beautiful as it can. That's for sure. Now, these five women, when you wrote it, did you write each one separately and then put it together, or you just
I didn't. I wrote it in order. So the order that you guys are reading
okay?
it is the order that I wrote it in.
Okay.
That I know there are some authors that'll write
Hmm.
one perspective all the way through. For me, it helps me keep track of all the twists and turns and all the little clues that have to be laid out if I do it in order. So, like I mentioned earlier, I have an outline for this, and I outline it in the way that you'll eventually read it. My outline kind of it's an evolving document, but by the end, it usually looks like what your chapters look like.
Who is your favorite character to write?
Ooh, tough question. I really liked writing Libby.
Uh-huh.
I think she's kind of got a fun, snarky personality, and that was fun to write.
Okay. Okay. They all had different personalities and different things going on. So, yeah, I don't know who my favorite was. I can't really say, but I'm glad Libby was your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we've come to the end of this interview. I really appreciate you talking to us, and I wish you luck with the book.
Thank you so
And that
much.
winery sounds so interesting. I'm gonna have to check it out. My daughter lives in Long
On
Beach,
the
so she's
spot.
not far away. So
Yeah.
I don't even know if she knows about that place. So I'm gonna have to let her know about it.
Yeah, it's small, but it is beautifully done and such a nice experience.
Do they serve food also?
They do kind of like sharing plates,
Mhm.
charcuterie boards and flatbreads, which is also delicious.
Oh, okay. That's good to
It's
know.
kind of a fun little hidden gem.
Okay, terrific. So we're talking to Stephanie about The Wives of Hawthorne Lane. The book comes out on September 16th. So we wish you lots of luck with the book and all
Thank you.
your launches. So enjoy.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys
okay.
having me back.
So I'm going to close this chapter of Turn the Page.
It's time to close this chapter of Turn the Page. Join us for the next episode.